I just saw the comments and I was like, what did I miss? Jett Lawrence is going to be in the booth some. You know, guys, I'll be tripping over my words, so it should be pretty fun. And it will be fun. And, like, he's not trying to be something that he's not. Carmichael. This guy can't win, man. But he's driving past the fans to go back to the pits. And he's just cranking his handlebars back and forth, and they're barely on. Hi guys, we are back. A 180 block pass. We missed a round. I know, I'm sorry. There's a reason for it, and you're about to see the reason right now. That's the reason.
Oh, what? Oh, wow, what on this?
If you're gonna be on TV, you gotta wear clothes. Here, you wanna wear an earpiece? Can you hear me? Okay, so the struggle is real, as you can tell, so welcome back to the channel. Sorry there was such a long break between having a particular time to edit this without being interrupted, or not edit it, to film it, and then to edit it, which takes literally all day, sometimes 2 days, depending. It's just a lot of time, and I can't allow my son to watch TV that long. There's that, there's a bunch of other things. Honestly, I was tired of editing because it's a lot of work. Probably not gonna have as many clips and stuff because it's just a lot. So if you like what I have to say, cool, hang out. If you don't, and you're only here for something to entertain you, then I guess this isn't the channel for you. I don't know. So we're going to try to get through the Supercross. I'm going to do a little bit of backtracking. I didn't do a prediction for Daytona, but honestly, I wouldn't have guessed it right anyway. I might have said Ken first just because he needed one so bad, but I'm going to be honest. It is Friday, and I didn't watch the race till yesterday, and I knew what happened. Obviously, I looked online, and I was like, every time I don't watch, Ken Roczen wins, so maybe I should just stop watching Supercross, and he'll win the title. But I did miss out on a lot of juicy stuff. I kind of just was like, pulled a Ken Roczen, and was like, all right, I'm over motorcycles for a little bit. I have a lot of stuff going on, a lot of life things going on right now, too. The point of the matter is a lot of stuff has happened, and it is so juicy. I was telling my husband about the race all last night. I was like, Aaron Plessinger was in front, or no, Jason Anderson was in front, and then AP was in front. I went on this, told him about the race for like 30 minutes, and I was like, if I only had the camera in front of me right now. So it was a really good race. And on top of that, I didn't see the video of Daniel Blair and his This Is the Truth video until yesterday. And I went scrolling and I saw like a whole thing about Ricky Carmichael on the principal thing on Supercross Voices, where the guy's like, oh, he just sends it to the principal's office and gets him kicked out, whatever he said. And I just saw the comments and I was like, what did I miss? I missed something. Now I gotta go figure out what this is. And I figured it out pretty quickly. I didn't know it was that bad. And then I came across that clip again, which I think I had seen it, and I don't think they put the whole clip in wherever I had seen it before and watched it. But I kind of remember them like talking. The clip where Ricky Carmichael's kind of just being a booty hole. That clip, yeah, that was low, dude. It sucks too. It's because like you do media stuff, people just pull stuff from the past, and it's like, oh, I've moved past that. Maybe I'm not that person anymore, but hey, it's still gonna bite you. And that's the thing, is like everyone moved past it, and then they brought something from the past forward. Like they called Daniel Blair up, and I'm sorry, my allergies. Apparently, Daniel Blair was supposed to go to Daytona to call the futures or something, and then he's 45 minutes away, like, from the racetrack. It's just fucking crying right now. What do you think about the races? All right, so what I'm getting at is I might have to take the Ricky Carmichael poster out of my son's room and find a Daniel Blair poster because everybody's killing me, I swear. And it doesn't matter because Ricky Carmichael is one of the greats. But when it comes to commentating, before I even knew who Daniel Blair was, I was like, Ricky Carmichael shouldn't be doing this. Like, he's not good. Sorry. Like, you stutter over your words. This is a live thing. You can't be doing that. It's just, you don't have time for that. That's all it is. And, you know, personally, I think he's being a sore loser about it. And you know what? Maybe that's why he won races, because he was supposed to be a racer. And Daniel Blair was supposed to be a media person. Like, everyone has their thing. I don't know. It's pretty childish, to be honest. But that's men for you. Half my audience just left. Probably more than half. I don't know. I don't want to get into, like, the hype. Like, and here's the thing. Is everyone everyone's like, oh, Ricky Carmichael needs to leave Daniel Blair. We're supposed to be talking about the racers. Like, we're taking all the stuff from the racers that are working their butts off to win a title, and we're worried about who the announcers are. It's just stupid. But before we just really switch gears, let me say this. I was watching, and it was Chad Reed, Bubba, and Ricky Carmichael doing the Futures broadcast. Chad Reed was like, man, this makes me want to go put my goggles on. And Ricky Carmichael was like, I don't want to put mine on. It's like, well, then why are you here? You don't care about riding anymore. You don't want to ride. You want nothing to do with your motorcycle. You're promoting a brand, which is Triumph now. So yeah, you're going to ride their bike to get media or whatever. But if you don't care, then go do something else. Like, if it was that traumatizing to be a champion, you have the rest of your life to go figure out and do something completely different. Which obviously he tried NASCAR, and you can't just get into NASCAR. Like, that's not how that works. These kids ride go-karts when they're like 6. Okay? That's different. And NASCAR sucks anyway, but sorry. It's just boring. I can't. So what does that bring us to? That brings us to some recap real quick of Daytona and what I noticed. Off the gate, because I watched the Daniel Blair The Truth video before I watched the race, because I'm behind, like I said. And let me tell you, the announcers, I never really, like, I know people all the time are like, oh, the announcers suck. I watched the race on mute, yada, yada, yada. Like, I get it. But for the most part, I enjoy the commentary or whatever on the side, and they'll tell you little fun facts that you wouldn't know otherwise because, you know, I have a life and all. So I was like, okay, this is cool. And then I was like, man, this is really bad. Like, you can tell there is like tension in the room. I think James Stewart is the best. I'm just saying. And you know what? I don't think he's going to get into the drama because he don't care. Like, he's got his own thing going on. He doesn't care. He's enjoying being there, especially because he was there because it was his brother's first race. And it was a whole thing. But, like, he doesn't trip over his words. He has good insight on what's going on, and he explains it better. But, like, you could tell, I don't know, I haven't watched any of his content, and I'm sure he wouldn't talk about it anyway, because I'm sure he's under some kind of contract. But he would say something, 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 and it was like they were using, like, call signs, and it was like, he was going through the turn, and whoopee whoop whoop, and he was like, Ricky? And then Ricky Carmichael would be like, I'm not trying to make fun of anyone, but it's true. I said that before. I said it, whatever. Sometimes he does better than others. And Chad Reed said something, and Ricky Carmichael alluded to everyone, like, you know, talking crap. He kind of brought on himself, and he was like, well, get in line, you know, you and everybody else. It's like, dude, go do something else. He might. I don't know. I will be curious to see what 2026 brings us when it comes to the media side of things. But we're not here for that. We are here for the racing. I will say, to end this series of the announcers, it was bland. Never really noticed it being that off before, but man, that was off. And Chad Reed came in there and made it fun because he was not attached to the drama. Didn't sound like he cared at all. He was just having fun being there. That was nice. I don't know. You can't always believe everything you hear, but if you listen to the long form stuff, like 4 hours of Gypsy Tales from Ricky Carmichael and from Daniel Blair, you're just like, I don't understand what the beef is, but there's beef there. That's how champions and competitive people are. They're like that. So, with that being said, Daytona. I would have said, I don't think Chase is going to do it. And I would have been right. Chase was in the LCQ, dude. I have a clip where Chase's head is buried from Arlington and all these things. And this guy can't win, man. Like, and I was telling my husband last night, I said, it's so crazy to me how someone can be so fast, mess up so much, and still win titles. Like, I had no idea that Chase has won as much as he has. Because every time I watch, he's on the ground. Something happens. Like, the kid can't win. And it got to the point, this race, where I was like, okay, I feel bad for the dude. Like, this is bad. Like, he got done with the LCQ race. And he's driving past the fans to go back to the pits. And he's just cranking his handlebars back and forth. And they're barely on. I'm like, my husband was like, I'd be firing somebody. But, I mean, got the whole shot in the heat, out of the gate. I guess he didn't hear Ken Roczen's interview where Ken was like, yeah, the jump faces are kind of soft. Like, sometimes you got to give it some gas, which kind of makes you overjump and it's tricky. And I guess he went short. I don't know what happened, but dude would have won that heat race. something probably would have happened in the main. And I was like, you know what? He is the RJ Hampshire of the 450 class at this point. He just is. Everyone highlights it, and I hate it for the guy. But when you're that fast, everyone's going to notice every time you fall. Because it's literally like he falls like every race. Like every race. Malcolm was falling there a lot for a little bit. He would go in his little spells where I was like, well, Malcolm would have done good, but he fell again. But Malcolm's crashes were usually pretty rough in comparison. He wasn't just tucking the wheel. I mean, he almost did it in the LCQ. And the only reason he probably didn't fall is because he wasn't going fast because he didn't have to. Dude, you gotta figure something out. I don't understand. It's just so crazy to me. And if it doesn't get any crazier than Chase Sexton's little curse he's got going on, Kawasaki lost Levi Kitchen. Thank God we didn't lose him for real because that was a hard fall. Dude broke his back. And you know what? The owner Kawasaki's in a wheelchair. And I don't know why he's in a wheelchair. But maybe there was some juju on that team, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Something's going on. It's bad. That sucks. This week is the East and West showdown, and we would have seen Levi Kitchen and Danger Boy duke it out. And now we got broke back on Kawasaki, another guy. Like, what is up with that team? Y'all need to go to church or something. Something ain't right. Y'all need to pray against that. Something is bad. Daytona was amazing. So Ken Roczen won. It was amazing. He won. And I already knew he won because obviously I watched it yesterday. And he's going around the stadium and he's giving all his high fives. And I'm just standing in the living room and I'm just the whole time. And he did a long lap and I was just sitting there clapping. I mean, I almost started tearing up there for a second. I was just so happy. But I have emotional attachment to Ken Roczen because of my Army stuff. And we switched places. We switched countries there. So it was just something about it that it was just cool. It helped me get through some stuff. And isn't that what we all love Supercross and motorcycles and dirt biking and whatever you want to call it? Is because it just, what does this shirt say? Healing on positive energy. This is an Austin Fortner sweatshirt. Because that boy needs some healing. Riding a dirt bike is healing. Watching people just kill it on a dirt bike is healing. And that's why we're here talking about it. That's why you're watching this, is because you're obsessed like me. Here he comes. Malcolm Stewart with that heat race win, that was pretty cool as well. So he's up there. I think AP got some real confidence from Malcolm winning that race. So that was fun. All right, so let's just move on to Indianapolis because I'm excited about this one. Jett Lawrence is going to be in the booth some, and I can't wait to hear what he has to say because even on his commercial, he was like, you know, guys, I'll be tripping over my words, so it should be pretty fun, and it will be fun. And like, he's not trying to be something that he's not. Carmichael. It should be fun to watch and see his face again, so that's fun. So, look. Chase has got to get it together this race. I think he will. If he gets a good gate pick and nothing stupid happens, which is like saying, don't forget to put the milk in the refrigerator. I don't know. I think he'll do good. I did say last couple of videos ago, whenever it was, I said Ken Roczen has to get podiums. He has to get a first place. He got a podium the next race. It was second. He was close to first. The next race being Daytona, he got the first. So he is marching up. And if Chase keeps doing what he's doing, that's good for Ken Roczen camp. But Cooper Webb is just trotting along, getting them podiums. And I'm gonna be honest, like, we all know how Cooper Webb rides, and he, as much as it pains me to say it, he probably would have beat Ken if he didn't have that stall on the bike or whatever happened. Couple of things is when he came up to Aaron Plessinger and they had that close-up shot and you could hear it in the mics and he was just like, whoop! Oh, man. I was like, that's how you freaking ride right there, man. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, he does it on purpose. He's trying to spook you or whatever. But I think that, like, my first impression when I heard that was like, that's the horsepower and the beast mode of the Yamaha, man. Like, that's how you ride right there. Give that thing some juice. Get them RPMs up. Freaking fly out of there. Like, that's where my head went. It was like, oh, that's what he does. That's his tactics. But I think he was just ready to get after it. And, like, I think that's how he rides. And people are saying he's doing it, and he's just using it. He's like, oh, yeah, sure, I do that. Like, I don't know. Like, people just Cooper Webb's so smart. Da, da, da. It's like, how are we coming up with these conclusions? Like, we're just saying stuff out thin air. We don't really know anything. But he's a good rider. He does cut down on the turns. I think Ricky Carmichael's the one that's saying that and like makes the track shorter. And it is working. And Ken Roczen stays in his lines. And I think if that whole whatever situation didn't happen where he maybe stalled the bike or whatever happened with that, I mean, he even could have hit neutral. Who knows? But the thing is there wasn't enough time to play catch up. And so even if he was riding faster, there just wasn't enough time. So it worked out cool for Ken. Super stoked he got a Daytona trophy. That being said, anything can happen and there's no telling who's going to win the next race. And I would love for Ken Roczen to win the next race, but if he just stays consistent and stays on the podium, we're good. We still going uphill for that mulligan we had. And that's another thing I noticed with Daytona. Like, the lappers weren't really as much as a problem, except for there was one lapper, and I was like, oh gosh, get out of the way. Like, there's been no lappers this whole time, and you want to be a lapper and being in the way right now. So that slowed Ken down for like a split second, but I think it slowed down Cooper too, so that was fine. I don't know. We're going to keep this video short and sweet, so I'm going to say Danger Boy's going to come out swinging because he's hungry and he wants it for 250 class. Austin needs to get up on the podium again for points. He got lucky. Man, that staggered restart killed him couple races before, and then it benefited him. So that's cool. He got stuff taken away, but he got stuff given back. So we'll take that for him. Chase Sexton's going to get on the podium because he has to. Jason Anderson was doing well, and I think he'll do better this coming race because I think his physical, what am I trying to say? His physical endurance isn't as good as other people's. I think it's just not there because he always drops down, and it seems maybe he's just getting tired. I don't really know. We'll see what happens. We missed a lot of injuries. I missed a lot of injuries. Freaking, what's his name? Jordan Smith, punctured lung. Good gracious. Glad he's okay. Just crazy. So we're halfway there. This race should be fun and exciting. Do I think Ken Roczen's going to come out swinging again? Yeah, but if he gets on the podium again, we're going places. I think Chase might win this one because he needs one. So I'm going to say Chase, Cooper, Ken. As much as it pains me to say no. Well, my son says it's time for me to be done, so we're done. I'll see you next time at the races. Sorry if this video wasn't as fun or entertaining as the last one. I hope you just like listening to me talk because I'm pretty good at that. So, see you next time. Thanks for tuning in to 180 Blog Pass. See you at the races.